Let's take a look at our basic digitizing tools at the top of the screen. We have the manual digitizing tool. So when I left mouse click and left mouse click again, each of those spaces is actually one whole stitch. So it's pretty hard to get a consistent length unless you are extremely careful. And then right mouse click to deselect it. Now when I select the run stitch tool, and I left mouse click and drag the cursor across the screen and then left mouse click to set the next point. If this is the complete length of my line, I'll right mouse click, and now when I select just that line that has been digitized as a run, I have the ability to change the stitch length of each stitch in the line, and I can also change the color, add a start, stop, and tie off, and so forth. If I select the shape tool, I can add a point by right clicking and add a point, and then it would be very easy to curve the line if that was my desire. So run stitches are easy to do in Perfect Embroidery Pro. And now let's advance over to Satin. The Satin tool lets you left mouse click, and you are basically drawing the left side of the column. And once you are going to move over to the right, you right mouse click and then continue to left mouse click to drop each individual point. And then when you are complete, move away and right mouse click. And now you can see that you have a line that has a variety of width. Now we can change those points. We can smooth them out. I could right mouse click and select smooth to get a smoother curve here. I can also change the direction of the stitches by moving these black nodes, and watch what happens when I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and move 2 of these, and now you'll see the stitches now go at an angle that I set by moving those nodes. Let's go ahead and select the classic satin. Now this is going to drop a point, and basically it's very similar to drawing stitch by stitch. So if you know how wide you want your stitches to be, this is a fun way to do it. And then just right mouse click to create the whole width of the satin. Now classic satin fills in those spaces between the nodes that you had dropped so that it's consistent throughout the length of the satin. And again, if we select the shape tool, we can just move the black points and grab the blue nodes underneath to change the shape of the column itself. Steel is entirely different. So when we left mouse click to select that, and we'll draw a straight line, and left mouse click, and then right mouse click. Now you have a column of stitches, but its width is not, you cannot change it across the span, the whole expanse. When it's selected, you can go in and change the whole width of the column. Like, let's go ahead and make it 6.0. Click apply. Now it's quite wide, but I can't go in and change the point. I can only change the length of that column with the shape tool, unlike this one. What a fun feature on the steel is to go into the column and select how you want the edges to finish. Now none means it will be just nice and clean on both sides, but let's take a look at adding a jagged edge to both sides. Well, when you select that, you're going to want to really exaggerate it. So let's go ahead and put 5 as our number. Now you can see the difference. I'll turn on the 3D and you can really see the difference. But what if you only want it on one side? So on the first side, click apply. And on the second side, it would do it on the opposite side. So imagine the fun you can have adding those kind of finishes to a steel stitch. In Satin, there are several ways to add the stitches. I've previously showed you how you can just left mouse click, left mouse click, left mouse click, right to go over to the other side, and left mouse click, and right mouse click to give you a column. But if you like to freehand draw, you can hit F on your keyboard and your cursor changes to a pen. And this is kind of fun. So now I'm going to left mouse click and drag and hold the mouse as I move down the column, and then I will right mouse click and left mouse click and drag and come back up that squiggly line, left mouse, release the left mouse, right click, and there you have a column that was drawn freehand. You can have a lot of fun with that. It gives you a little bit more freedom. If you had some artwork in the background, you may find it easier to use the freehand draw to trace. Now, what if you're not satisfied with the way the stitches are laid in there? Well, it's very simple to edit that. So I will click on the shape tool and I will just readjust the angle of the stitches. And this one most certainly needs to come up there. And now we've kind of cleaned up those areas where the stitches were very wide and angled improperly. So very easy to edit column stitches after freehand drawing.